Peace and blessings, family. Sister Ajali. Oh boy, this is a really strange advocacy to do, which is just to, try to be here in any way publicly. It's very strange. So I want to thank the brother. Let me get your name or your channel name, Cam2Player, for alerting me to something I had no idea whatsoever. I did not know that Dexter Scott King just died today when I did the live going over his departed mother, uh, Coretta Scott King's tape of her being supportive of the alphabet community. I'm not going to take that live down because I didn't mean it in any disrespectful way whatsoever. And this is a war that these folks are waging against us. And I'm actually trying to prevent these sorts of casualties. I'm not saying people aren't going to die from cancer or all the other afflictions that radiation causes, but if we are targeting the carnage it's causing in our bodies, in our communities, these sorts of things will happen less and less. 62 is a vastly young age to transition at, and especially from prostate cancer. When they say, oh, we're going to come up with a cure for cancer, it's really already been done several hundred times over. They're lying to everybody. You have to pick the remedy that you feel comfortable with, but don't go into these doctors' offices clueless. Don't go in without doing massive research, because then you'll just have full confidence that I got this. And they have been informed by the American Medical Association to do what they say is to stop over diagnosing cancer, even though they know there's what we're seeing now being reported. There's this massive rise in cancers, especially amongst young people, is something that the World Health Organization predicted shortly after Fukushima. At that time, they gave no reason whatsoever. Right. And so all of these things are attributable. The only thing that spiked like that in the environment that would affect everybody on the planet has been Fukushima. All right. So I come here to stop this. I didn't mean anything untowards to the King family. I just am going to speak the truth and try to do so respectfully, because I wish no one any harm, especially not Black people. Okay. And when someone passes, you have to be respectful. You only say but so much. But when I did that stream, I had no idea that, he had transitioned. Peace, Sister Gwen B. How are you, Queen? And Brother Warrior Status and Emmanuel Briggs. It's good to see you, beloveds. I just want to share, because I also at the time, it's my fault. This is why I entreated someone else to research Fukushima and share it so it's impactful and beneficial to our family, so we could learn about man-made radiation. It's because I'm so highly imperfect. I don't mind. Personally, I don't mind. That's why I'll come up here and I'm like, okay, I made a mistake there. I did that not the way I wanted to do it, but I don't give a damn. I don't need to be perfect in order to present the data to as many people as possible. And I'm okay with that. But at the same time, I'm just like, there's so many people out there, so much more brilliant than I can hope to be, even though I'm pretty sharp. I know that. I ain't dumb. I know I'm not stupid. All right. But I didn't even recall that Coretta Scott King had passed all the way back in 2006. So that was an old recording of her supporting the alphabet community that's just, I guess, been resuscitated, because I believe they want to throw Michelle Obama at us Not that I think she would be elected, but you never know because they really very much want us to be the spokesmodels for perversion. And so they can create this wedge as if we're coming out rooting for folks who are going to just lead to our genocide, and then they can make it what they want it to seem, is that it's just the white people. You got to hate the white people because they're all racist. I'm not saying what I feel towards the white people. I'm just saying when it comes to the whole wokery nonsense, that ain't us. That ain't us. And they don't need much in order to develop new stereotypes against us. And because too many of us feel embarrassed by our people, we just accept these stereotypes as our own. Before they were, had all the hip hop turning into gangbang music, whatever the heck it is. Um, we just when I was a child, we had a sense of there's going to be black men who go to church, and now they turn, and not that I recommend the church, but I'm just saying they've turned us into believing what is the foundation of this nonsensical gender war, which is that the black man is a born thug. And that's a lie. That's something that they figured out how to perpetrate this stereotype in a boardroom. And they're shocked at how effective it was. Well, now the alphabetizing of our identity is underway so that they could do what they did in Sin City, Berlin. That's how they got the, baseball hit guy up in there, is by making everything so depraved that folks were just glad to see them big fancy limousines and all the rest of it from the, Gestapo dudes rolling on up the boulevards. Oh, where'd they get all that damn money? Is this supposed to be some fringe group? And they got all this money. There were posters up all over Germany, and people were so sick to death of the just orgies. There were whole families. You could go and have sex with the whole family in Berlin. In Berlin. And so that's what they want us to represent, because that's a very effective way to become dictatorial. And everybody, they'll even have black people looking like, oh, like I got this photo. I wish I could find it quickly, but I don't want to be here long, of a meme where they were showing black people, support Trump. And I'm not saying there aren't black people who do, but that's the only two choices. We're either woke or we support Trump. So in this little picture, they had a black woman standing with a placard saying, dictate. Why in the world would we ever want to extol a dictator over our existence, our lives? Never, 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 never. But this is what they're doing. So for them to resurrect that old, tape where Coretta Scott King is, supporting the alphabet folks, maybe, back then, before she died, it wasn't as insane as it is now. They were lying so well. Right? If you can find it, if you feel like spending, I don't know, I think it's about $1,000 for the book. It's called After the Ball, where it's written by two gay men, and they were recommending how the homosexual community needed to clean itself up, to present itself as a lie, as if they're just as Americana as apple pie, because they said that they're a mess, and they use the plural we. But now they got folks who you could get fired for using incorrect pronouns. What? It's the English language. How are we going to describe a crime scene if nobody even knows how many people were there? Because this one's called they, that one. Soon you'll have to respect the pronoun of just calling a whole group of lunatics he or she. We operate as a unit. When you fuzz up reality so nobody knows what the hell's going on, it's not tenable. It's not a society. Society must be governed by rules that perpetuate its continuation ad infinitum. And so I just, think that they're buttressing, they rehash this little clip from an era when folks didn't know how bad it was going to get, and because they want to get Michelle Obama up in there. And she's on for the whole thing because she up there recommending. I remember Dwayne Wade's son. He's still a son, right? She up there talking to him saying, "You're such a brave young lady." What? So that was it. And I stand by that. I'm sorry that he has passed. That's why I come here. Okay. All right. That's all I have to say. Let me say goodbye to or say see you later to you in the chat room family. Where's right there? There we go. It's good to see. Yes, it's going to be a big old setup. That's what I smell. And it don't, because that's what they do. They calculate like this. And because they own the media, they get away with it to a certain extent, but I don't think they're getting away with it like they were, because Fukushima is going down too fast, and they're not adequately explaining away all the stuff dying, all the planes falling out the sky, all that stuff. All right, so again, Sister Gwen B, Brother Warrior Status, Brother Emmanuel Briggs, and I saw dear Sister Jai Africa. Good night, Queen. Good night, everyone. I love you so much. I'm glad this is only like under 12 minutes. That's great. Thank you, Brother Emmanuel. I really appreciate that. Everybody, you are my motivation, because you are such a glorious people. Can't nobody tell me any different. I live the reality of being one of us. Peace and blessings.